Dire team ban. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Doom.
Complexities turn to pick.
Invoker.
Dire team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Dark Seer.
Complexities turn to ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the American Grand Finals here for the Summit 5 Digital Chaos and Complexity Gaming. We are now into game number 4 with DC
10
currently
seconds
leading the
remaining.
series 2-1. Definitely viewed by most as underdogs coming in,
5
but
seconds
they are on the
remaining.
verge of qualifying. Just got to win one more of the potentially next 2 games to do it for Complexity.
Reserve
Got to
time.
go 2-0 to take back the series. I'm LD. I'm joined here today by Grant, and Merlini.
Dire team ban.
Guys, Ben, I'll start with you. Still believe in Complexity.
Before the whole thing started, someone asked me who I thought was going to win. I said DC.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Okay.
what about Complexity? I was like, it's
10 seconds
I
remaining.
think
worse
they're
to be like
overrated.
64.
64.
Complexity? I don't think they're overrated. I think that Digital
5
Chaos just,
seconds remaining.
they're
Is underrated.
really good. They're underrated, yeah.
Okay.
But you called it first ban on the Lone Druid,
Reserve time.
and Phoenix slips
I'm in
through yet
Swindle's
again.
head. I know Swindle. He has these little ticks. He always does them. If
Wow.
anyone wants hires me as a coach, it's cool.
You can see it through the internet. That's,
Yeah. Yeah, no, but they just did it for Shazam. They lost one game to T single-handedly won a
10
game.
seconds
I mean, this
remaining.
wasn't a single-hand win by the Resolution Bear, but it was enough to win
5
first ban for
seconds
sure.
remaining.
Now we'll let the Doom go through, which will be the first overall pick for Digital Chaos, followed closely by the Phoenix and Invoker.
Dire team ban.
Yeah, so Spectre getting removed here by Complexity with the Darkseer pick. That's definitely... It's a hero a lot of other teams would run with, like a Darkseer. Then you'd often see a puck grab, but DC not
Yeah,
normally a go-to hero for them.
10
don't think it
seconds
is.
remaining.
I just keep going back to Sham because that's a super TC thing to do. I feel like
5
Complexity is
seconds
almost basing their
remaining.
bans because they've played a lot against. I mean, all these teams have, and that's what they're based. I mean, the
Reserve
PL ban
time.
obviously against Invoker. It's better to have the. No wait, they could have picked PL instead of Darkseer. Never mind. Interesting.
Yeah, so... I mean, do they have something in mind? Because Spectre obviously hard counters like certain heroes. Is there any chance of, I don't know, a Tinker pick by Complexity? Something different that would like explain the ban, guys? Or I think it's more just like we don't want to have to deal with Spectre with Ion Shell.
10 seconds remaining.
By that, I mean, if there wasn't an Invoker, I'd say Tinker's a super pick, but I don't think you can have like an
5
Invoker
seconds
safe lane
remaining.
and Tinker metal. I actually don't know about the Spectre ban. They just don't want to play it.
I think
Reserve
maybe they
time.
don't want to get outscaled. I think that's kind of why they failed in so many team fights last game, is because they were worried about getting outscaled, because they know Lone Druid was like fairly close to Alchemist. I don't think that they thought it was that close in terms of farm, but you could tell that they were like, okay, we need to fight now or else they're going to beat us in the late game. So I think they don't want that sort of pressure and want Digital Chaos to go more early game than them, potentially. Other than that, I don't know. What else is Spectre good against?
Yeah. I mean, pretty good at hunting
10
like
seconds seconds remaining.
Nature's Prophet, I guess, but
Yeah.
you don't really need to counter him, and certainly not with a ban.
5
And they
seconds
didn't have
remaining.
any signs of. I guess maybe like Doom plus Spec is already pretty good in terms of being able to pick
Reserve
off an
time.
Invoker. Let's say like Doom oftentimes lacks vision for his Doom targets, especially for someone like a Phoenix who has high mobility and someone like an Invoker who's definitely afraid of the Doom. So I guess they're maybe afraid of those solo picks a lot of the
Yeah,
time.
just the vision aspect is true. I mean, the interesting thing is that vision has not been nearly as much of a priority in the series by the teams as what we saw like in pretty much all the regions. But I'd say for me, I mostly was casting Europe in the Manila Major qualifiers, where the Beastmasters, the Night
Complexities
Stalkers,
turn to
Spectres were huge priority bans every single game. Even Bat Rider's been getting through repeatedly, so hard to say. But Complexity, in any case, will grab a Disruptor here, and curious to see where they go for now. But no proper stuns from
10
their
seconds
support
remaining.
duo, but that is where having your Invoker does come in handy.
Yeah, Disruptor for me
5
is, I mean,
seconds
if you
remaining.
win the early game, Disruptor is like one of the best snowballing support heroes. Because say you win a team,
Reserve
kill
time.
3 heroes, you see a 4th running away. Disruptor's just that person who a little bit more an advantage. And then, I mean, his ult and kinetic field are just pretty amazing at the 30-minute mark. I mean, it starts falling off after that, but I think Complexity wants to probably win the game before that.
They're weak. Their safe lane is so weak though. Phoenix and Disruptor.
Yeah, exactly.
Safe lane. That is just.
Ah,
Dire
There
that
we go.
that is a hero that Spectre with an Ion Shell destroys. So that does make a lot of sense.
I think you can just push him down though. I don't actually think Spectre's big of a problem for Drow Ranger. I think it gets past 30, but I think
Yeah.
that's the point of having the Drow. You don't take it late at all. You
10
can hopefully end the
seconds
game before he
remaining.
gets Radiance.
This
I don't
is-
disagree, but I've seen a lot of teams like they have one bad
5
fight versus
seconds
Spectre, he gets
remaining.
2-3 kills, and then the game's just over for the Drow strat.
I mean, Doom can similarly run just
Reserve
as a Drow
time.
Ranger.
That's
if
true.
he has one armor item, Veil, Buckler, even like Tranquil plus Vlad's, I think he can just run at the Drow.
I think NA Dooms get Tranquil and the casual Buckler.
Yeah.
I'd see him doing that. The Shadow Shaman again. I feel they're just. I mean, it worked the one game. I don't think it's that great of a hero, especially now. That Drow Ranger with just like treads and a Yasha can like 3-shot a Shadow Shaman.
I think it's to control Swindles. I think they won game 2 simply because Swindles fed way too hard. And Shadow Shaman's a hero that can make Swindles feed. They also took the Doom, a good offlaner. They took the Darkseer, also a good offlaner. They banned out the Faceless Void, and then what other Swindle heroes are there? They have Bat Rider.
Beastmaster's already banned too. by
Beastmaster's already
themselves.
banned. I don't think anyone really cares about Swindle's Bat Rider. You're okay if he picks it, and then there's not that many other options for him. So they're kind of making the offlaner as uncomfortable as possible, similar to how Complexity.
Man, I'm
banned
trying to
out
think who there is. There's like Axe, I guess.
There's MP, but MP is actually I think pretty decent here because you want to push.
Well, I think DC now is
10 seconds
proper
remaining.
Huck here. The Lifestealer bomb
Yeah,
against a
I
Drow
like the
Ranger with
Puck.
those 2 heroes is
5
actually just
seconds
insane.
remaining.
Yeah.
If you get a
think
blink on
Complexity-
Puck, Lifestealer gets an armlet, and you get even a halfway decent jump, those
Reserve
they
time.
just die.
They have to ban Puck. Yeah, yeah. I still can see a quap.
Dire team back.
Maybe.
It
Mid-
can work. I don't think it's as scary as
They
the
could just
Puck,
do
though.
mid bat.
Yeah, that would work.
Mid
too.
bat would also
with
destroy them.
Surge as well.
Would
So.
you really want a mid bat though? And then so all you have is like you have no anti
10
push. If somehow
seconds
Complexity wins early training phase, you have like no control. I don't think.
5
I
I
Rider
think
Lifestealer
even
core?
Ion Shell with Doom into like a vacuum wall threat is pretty big because Doom is not that
Reserve
easy. You
time.
cannot kill him easily at all, and it should cause enough havoc in the fights.
That's true.
I
But I
think-
think
They have Firefly too.
Well, they don't want to get
Dire
pushed. They are
team
going to ban the NP. Interesting.
What other options are there? Just co-op and bat?
I
Anything
mean,
else?
could be
Lena's good too. I think Lena's fine, although they don't have a blink carrier for the Lifestealer.
Hmm.
10
Yeah, it does
It's-
not seem like a great Jakiro game.
I think it's gonna be
No,
a
not
Weeha.
Jakir,
It's gonna
yeah.
be a Weeha telling
5
misery once.
seconds remaining.
That's kind of what.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like I feel comfortable with that. Pick it for. Unless it's Last Shrek, I don't think.
Reserve time.
I don't feel comfortable with you.
Sorry, you had 2 chances. Oh, okay. Well,
All right, another good chaser. It is not a bad vehicle for Lifestealer by any means. Has multiple ways to get in and out of fights.
He is very risky though.
Yeah.
Sister. It's not a good. It can be a good matchup, but it's not.
I feel like this game is almost certainly going to be a stomp. It's just which way is it going to be a stomp? Like
10
either
seconds
DC is going to screw up the lanes or a push. DC is going to run all over them with an Ion Shield
5
Ember and
seconds remaining.
best bombs and Doom just charging at them. Or Complexity is going to have a really good laning stage. snowball push them down. I feel like there's no middle ground really.
Wait, who's Swindle's playing? Is he playing
Could be
Enigma?
Enigma?
I-
I'll play Enigma.
Z-Freak's best hero. Do they really want to
It
pick an
is.
Enigma and not have your best player on it? It might be an off-lane Phoenix.
Yeah, you guys said you didn't like it too much.
It's for
but
Shaman. Shaman would crush Phoenix.
yeah.
Yeah, this
that
he would
doesn't feel
crush. And
great.
Enigma would just have to go to the jungle after the first like waves.
We're gonna see the brothers lane. Are they gonna dual lane?
That sounds like
That sounds terrible.
I mean, they have a lot of experience because Team Freedom, whenever they play them, it's Juby, IX Mike, always dual. I don't know why that team never off lanes solo. Maybe Complexity to steal one, and finally bring Freedom back to America.
10 seconds
I really hope
remaining.
not. I'm just saying they could.
Let's see it,
5
Complexity.
seconds remaining.
Gotta
They
pick
don't even
those
know.
heroes.
They
They're
don't
like, somebody make it.
It is.
It's all Z-Free playing Phoenix,
All right.
so it is
Well,
Swindle's Enigma.
They are brothers, so
They could switch computers. We don't know. Is there a rule against that? I mean, they're all in a team house. What if they just switched computers?
Probably be too weird because of the
the hotkeys
settings.
and stuff.
Yeah.
But
you could set
in
it up
theory,
beforehand.
In theory, yeah. What if you did that? That's a lot of effort to try to throw your opponents.
Yeah, it's true. I know there's a Super Smash Bros. Melee team that does that. They switch controllers like in the middle of the game, so you can't like. I don't know. I doubt
You can't
it.
like focus a player down.
Yeah.
That's some. Hey man, I wouldn't put anything past
No,
Complexity.
and I mean,
you know,
it's just
if
like
it's in
going
the
a
game,
Smurf team.
you
Yeah.
should use it. That is straight from the mouth of Swindle.
No, exactly. That's why he's one of the few people who's like fine with Smurf teams and open qualifiers. I mean, if it's there, use it. I mean, it's not banned.
Yeah, yeah. If you could, well, isn't it like with Face It as well for the major qualifiers? If you had the lower like the accounts with less games played, you just
30
automatically got
seconds to battle.
pick inside it was.
Exactly, and that's
In
some people
BO1,
got a little
Like,
upset.
you
Yeah.
automatically got Dire.
Oh, you automatically got Dire. Okay.
Yeah, it was Dire and some weird pick.
In
Yeah.
BO1s as well. So
I know
Yeah.
Veggies was pretty upset about that.
yeah, there was some salt
Ben,
for sure.
is it true?
Officer
yeah.
Merlini doesn't get mad.
I was like, whatever. You should be able to win on raid.
If you're a better team, yeah.
If you're a better team, so it's
Yeah.
like if we lost, we.
You're never gonna see a
Battle
pro team like, oh, we lost that
Oh.
because we run Radiant.
We have both runes. Wow.
You see the double rune grab to start this off. Chessie not gonna be particularly happy. So guys, we are into it now. Game number 4. The draw strat. It's a risky one. A lot of pushing potential here, though. Do you guys think Complexity can pull it off, or are we gonna see DC just close them out 3-1?
I think it's too high risk.
I like Complexity's draft if they win the first minutes. If they somehow don't take
Radiant
like a
structures are
pay
fortified.
advantage kind of thing.
Look at
I like-
Soxa. Look at where he is.
He's going in.
Yeah, and Zeke actually ended up blocking the spawn. I think the biggest question mark for me is Swindle's Enigma. I know he plays the teamfight heroes a lot, but I think it's just really greedy having Disruptor, Phoenix, and offlane Enigma. That just like, and they don't scale well.
Like, and against the Doom, who's just kind of casually running all around the world, but he
he's in
walks
trouble.
right into Cold Snap and Sunray. Noxus says, I have the GG safety button. Press it. Oh, he drops very low here.
He pressed it.
And he has level 1 Scorched Earth now. He can't eat a creep.
I mean, that was probably WoW worthy, to be honest. I should have let it go.
Shut up.
I save it for the deciding moments.
Move starts off in the jungle. It's smart, and he's
Uh
not
oh,
anything
we
for
are
Disruptor.
eating the Sunray here. Really dropping low to that thing. Is he gonna die? He has to pop the fairy fire to get out of it.
Freaks. Oh, he's dead. I mean, he went for it. I don't blame him. I probably would have too.
We was in single digits. He was.
Yeah,
That was.
that
I
was
mean,
a
you
fine
can't, you
dive,
can't even really
but-
fault him for it. That was,
It was funny. I feel bad.
but very bad. So Swindle's just straight jungling for now. It looks like not really trying to lane here too much. It's going to be a relatively free farm lifestealer. Darkseer farming great as well in the off lane. Now the Ember has been fed some gold experience, and Weehaw off to a good start. So all their core is doing well here early, guys. This is not the dream start with a Drow strat.
Yeah, and I love Lifestealer versus Drow. I think not a super counter, but it's a super hero versus her. Just you can lock her down super easy.
And with the new Armlet build, you aren't even really scared of dying during Rage. I think one problem is, like, if Disruptor is really quick on Static Storm, he might not be able to pop his Rage.
And they don't have a great... Oh, Chessie missing on the Tornado. So Weehaw confidently poke with the Flame Guard still online, and he walks right into the Sunray again, but there's no mana here on the Invoker. Is the Sunray gonna be enough to kill him off? This time, not as close. So Weehaw walks
Swoop
away.
in!
Radiant's top tower.
I mean, if that tornado hits earlier, I think they
They would have killed him for sure. It would have taken
maybe
off
could
the
have
flame
committed
guard.
there.
Yeah. So, well, what do you feel? Well, like, what does complexity have to do here, Ben? Like in the early game, do they just have
Push
to win their lane
towers
and
with
push
floors.
towers? Yeah.
Yeah, that's. What else do you really do with Drow Ranger? You need to take down the T1 so you can do roast, so you can push high ground.
And you have to punish Ember, right? Like he still go.
You don't actually
first
have
tier?
to.
Well, I mean, not punish.
You-
You have to punish while he's farming. I mean, he needs farming.
I don't think so.
No.
I think it's similar to how you deal with Alk. You just push down towers and force them to fight
Force him to
without
fight,
the
yeah.
ideal items. Because if he goes bot, he doesn't have any HP. One gust, he's dead. One black hole, he's dead. One static storm, he's dead. Like there's so many ways for him to die in a team fight. Even if he's like caught in a bad spot and his remnant away, then he's not there for his fight, and then you have to fight 4 on 5. He is really weak to mass physical damage, which a strat normally has a ton of. On top of that, they had the minus armor from the Force Spirit, so he needs armor, he needs HP, and he needs BOTs and Battle Fury. Like normally, all those items do not come up by the time the Drow Ranger has hit her stride.
So
Thank
Swindles so far looking about level 4 here in the offlane, 12 and 5, so not CSing particularly well by any means, but trying to put a little pressure on Resolution now, who has the phase boots already. He's just gonna rage to kill these things off, actually turning onto Swindles, and Misery might be able to punish. They get off the open wound. The first blood actually happening in the middle lane, but it looks like Swindles may go down as well. One more auto attack. Can he get the job done? Resolution will. So while that was going on, they did kill off the Ember, and they get the extra bit of gold there for killing the Ember Spirit, as earlier Z-Freak just died to the tower.
Does Tornado just perk off Flame
Yeah.
Guard?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, okay, yeah. All he
That
has to do
was-
is keep hitting that over and over, I think, and he's.
Now this is where you like having Ion Shell, so even if you have a bad start, you can catch up and still be a relevant force in fights as an Ember.
gonna do the stacks with Fix and Nick, the triple stack.
Ooh.
It's quad stack.
Yeah, quad stack with a Sunray and the Night Pulse.
Alright, Complexity pulling out the unusual tactics here in the critical game number 4,
I like
trying to
it.
push this to a decider.
That's pretty cool. Doesn't get affected by the magic.
Yeah, Sunray damage and the Midnight Pulse. Yeah, both of them don't.
Yeah.
It's actually really good.
Radiant's bottom
Oh.
tower is under attack.
Dive happening on bottom, limp very low on HP. I don't see a TB coming in.
Hey guys, it's me here, just Doom, nothing to worry about, and your carry Drow Ranger's dead. So DC grab essentially a freebie, and they just walk away.
That's a big kill.
And it just looked easy. There's 3 heroes
He
there.
just walked.
Yeah, I think that's what Ben said. The Phoenix Disruptor. Well, I mean, what are they gonna do? If the Disruptor goes in to help him, I'm pretty sure he just dies to Iron Shell and Flaming Sword. Like right
Flaming
now.
sword.
I mean, look at
he's just an anime
Infernal
character.
sword.
No, it's
Infernal Blade.
Infernal
Thank you.
Blade. Sorry.
it's Flaming Sword from now on, Grant.
I like playing
We're,
sword.
we're using that name. There they
Look at
go.
these, just
Doxa
running him
manning
again.
up on the Limp, and they're going to go in with the Infernal Blade. Limp's just going to die here unless that Sunray is godly, and oh, it was pretty godly. Actually, might be enough to save him. Limp turning this one. Looks like he did the math a little bit better than DC. So Complexity, clean house in the bottom lane. They do all get the kill. Swindles, force TP, top Misery. He does get the shackles off. It's likely to be another death for Swindles. The Infest pop out surprise, gets that bonus damage, gets the kill again. So you're not getting as much gold as he did in that previous Shaman game, but is putting the heat out. As the Tornado, again, just instantly dispelling that Flame Guard. It is keeping this Ember somewhat on the back foot, but still he's CSing well. 28-6, so still all 3 cores farming well in DC. Overall, ahead by 1,500 gold.
Wow.
7 minutes against the Drow strat. This is overall still looking real bad for Complexity.
Do you want to go Quas Wex with a Drow on your team? Well, before that.
Oh, Doxa diving for Handskin, but he may have overextended here. Swoop forward from the Phoenix. DC getting a little cocky, a little overzealous. Now Moose diving for this one. Is he gonna get the kill? No, he's not. I think MVP Sunray at this point, guys.
Yeah, well, like, they're up. We were talking about it. They have to know they're up, and they just literally fed 4 kills, same 2 heroes.
And the earlier it was to try and kill the Drow, but they dove for those last kills to kill a Disruptor. That does not seem like it's a worthwhile risk.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I just saw we like threw a spirit at Chessie. Maybe he wanted to bait out a TP, He had one in the back, but it looked like he was going for the Invoker. Crazy mind games.
Yeah, so this is just the super... Yeah, Complexity's playing that. We're going to push you at 20. The Invoker, the Urn, Quas, Wax, plus a Drow, they want to push your towers down, but Misery's going to be... He's going to be able to solo... He gets level 6 too. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, and that's something he can always just pull out of the book of tricks, is just dropping the wards on towers to at least trade with coL and maybe drag them back, but...
We going for solo kill.
Looking for swindles. God, they really like to put pressure on him.
He did end up blocking the spawn at the very least and farming on some Eidolons.
A lot of Eidolons, actually. And swindles, no mana here. Can't really punish this. He actually did not have the soul rain even now. He's still trying to farm it up. His Misery almost dead to the Sun Ray. One more auto attack plinks him down. Tessie does clean him up.
Sunray cold snap.
Ugh.
What a
Yikes.
combo. Fire nice.
They're rotating, though. Bring the Doom down bottom. It's an Infest Bomb. Ion Shell Surge, Infest Bomb onto Drow. Yeah, this is going to be... Has to be a really timely glimpse. But he can just pop out of rage. Limp. Oh, he does get off the gust here. And the Life Stealer pops out. They're just going to go for it. He runs out of the Static Storm. He's so damn fast. The Rage Card Doom. Then glimpse back to the other side. Almost to safety. Hit the glimpse, just save the Doom and give him a free get out of jail card. It looks like... No, he will end up going down, just barely. A 1-for-1 so far. Now they bring in the Ember Spirit, but a timely Tornado by Chesty. Gonna remove that Flame Guard, forcing him back. Weehaw. Run away, but again, the Drow dying. Complexity. A lot of kills here. She is farming well.
Dire's top tower.
One of
He's death
Death
already
says Misery gets stove on, but he doesn't split dive.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah, I think they knew, like, 1 TP and... back.
Dire's structures.
Windows is
are
having mana
fortified.
issues. Okay, he just got the soul right now.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine trading, like, 2 heroes for Drow at this point, and they only lost 1 hero.
Radiant's
I'm
bottom tower
fine with
is
that. A
under
hero that
attack.
can catch up with Devour and Midas when he gets...
They still need armor. They need like a Bassi. I guess Lifestealer might be building it right now. Every bit of armor helps first. The Drow
Radiant's bottom
strat.
tower is under attack.
And the Eidolons.
Dire's top tower is
Yeah, they
under
don't.
attack.
They do have the Darkseer to get the mech, and it looks like Moo is farming quite well, so we'll have that.
Dire's top tower
I think you want like Buckler plus a Bassi plus a eventual Vlad's on the
Radiant's
Doom.
bottom tower is
Oh,
under attack.
Moo. Getting owned by Chessie.
Yeah, Chessie able to kill off the Darkseer, but Resolution's still moving on him. Don't see how he gets this kill. He's going to commit super hard. Actually, juking back the other way, but the Sunray again. Oh, hell, the Sun. Z-Freak able to save the day, though he may get caught up by Misery. Actually didn't have mana for the Shackles, has the 6 charges, a bit short still, I think. Infest, pop back out, go for round 2. This Lifestealer just only knows one direction, and that is straightforward. The
Nice.
remnant for Weehawk, killing him off while he's under cover of Ghost Walk. Still ends up going down. With the AoE damage, and Swindles just says screw it, I'm gonna go push top lane, but Z-Freak, oh, he might be dead bottom. He does have access to a Sunray. That's not really gonna help him in this situation. Tasered from distance by Misery, and Weehaw will try to hold this push off. So DC, game plan seems clear. Run at the Drow, run at the bottom lane, and just don't stop. Now they have Doom.
Yeah, it's working out. I mean, they just got the bottom tower too. Misery's getting item. He got the tower again, so he's already set for the game.
Nice unlock toggling by Lifestealer. They also have to be better about like itemizing on complex. They have 2 urns, and also they have 2 Bassies. So when they group up for a 5-man push, that's, you know,
Just a lot of wasted money.
1,300, 1,400 gold that they already don't have. They're actually behind right now.
The glimpse back on the Doom, and they're gonna try to catch him out, but Cage gets dropped to keep the Lifestealer away, at least for now. Doxa, unable to retreat, and will end up going down. They
I
did get a
think
nice pick there
Dire's
on the
fine
Doom.
with just having a Doom die while they commit 4 people for him. I mean, Moo's farming bottom, pushing it or 2 even. A lot of unhealed damage there.
It's more important for the Shaman to, I think, get his blink than the Doom to get his items, and he can just build like his buckler, which is really small pieces. Although he
God,
is
you
going for the
really
Midas.
want that buckler.
Dude, they need armor, man.
Yeah,
I
hey,
actually
I know,
don't
I know.
agree with the Midas build, but he
They-
feels
they
like
have
they're
the
comfortable in
Aquila.
the mid game.
Well on Ember now.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Little spike there from the server. Hopefully everything stays stable, but Complexity, they'll keep on
Let's
pushing.
see the smoke. Who
gonna
is
go for it.
infested? Oh, it's we.
Yeah, probably the ideal delivery mechanism. Surge, Iron Shield, and running in hot onto Swindles. He's gonna need help, and even with an instant Sunray, it just doesn't matter. They pop that Enigma with ease. Now DC looking to back out. Can Complexity find the counter kills? Weehaw on the run. Glimpse available, but no static storm. There's just nothing they can do. And
DC are really good about bursting so quickly. I think the Disruptor drafted static storm, and everyone just ran out of it because the Enigma just died really fast. And on top of that, Lifestealer, Resolution is doing a really good job with popping his rage instantly as soon as he comes out of the infest, and giving them no time to silence him with either a gust, black hole, static storm. So as long as he that Q button nice and quick.
Weeha, just a quick remnant out, and another swift opportunity for Complexity to find a kill. They, outside of Static Storm, do not have much lockdown for the Ember. I guess later on the Gust maybe could come into play, but that's putting Limp in harm's way as well. Comes Misery, sweeping around, and he's gonna walk right into Limp. This Drow Ranger, she just wants to catch up. Oh, good call snap though by Chessie to turn this. Misery's gonna go down. He pays. Can he get out safely? Soxa committing the Doom here is gonna look to run away, but they do have a glimpse available. They're gonna pull him way back. Doom right into the Gust, pushes him a bit farther away. He runs in, and he's running back to the well. Complexity with the 4-hero rotation, they make it 2-0.
Radiant's top tower
Wendell's still
is
just
under
off trying to
attack.
farm up that mech.
Great protection with the Drow Ranger and the Invoker. The supports are always huddled around those two, knowing that DC are always going to try and hone in on those heroes to slow down their game, slow down their push.
Oh, they probably have a black hole available here for Resolution. They do, and they're going to let it go now. EMP coming out. Tornado is ready, but he manages to infest inside a full HP creep. But the one in front, though, that's going to put Resolution in harm's way. And he jukes into the trees. The Tornado is there, clipping him, bringing him very low. Another cold snap, and a kill again. Complexity firing on all cylinders here, gank after gank to stay in this game, and it drags it back to dead even.
Yeah,
Still.
super quick reactions from Swindle, and then, I mean, right when the TP happened, Swindle just ran at him, and you saw the
Radiant's
open,
bottom
tried
tower
to
is
make it
under
so he couldn't
attack.
catch. It was a good play by Swindle, Chessie.
Oh, Handskin, again, endless action, the dives everywhere as DC going in on the bottom lane. Static still gets dropped though. Handskin is going to find 1 kill, but it comes at the cost of 2 the other way. Support just unable to do anything to punish tower dives on their own. Voker, I mean, he can't be everywhere. That TP's still on cooldown.
Now the pressure is coming out too quickly with the Ember Spirit having the BOTs. They can gank multiple points at once, and they're just stalling Complexity to the point that they can't group up and push. They can't get that key ages for the Drow Ranger. If they stop to farm at neutrals, someone's not going to be there to defend fights. And DC, they're losing heroes a lot, but I think they're coming out pretty far ahead in this mid game.
Yeah, Grant, do you agree with that? Looking at the graphs right now on paper, it's a dead even game, but in terms of strategy, how do you feel the teams are matching up?
Right, it's perfect for DC, because Ember, I mean, like we said, I mean, he has like one of the slowest starts of hero. Once he gets that BO, like the BOT Quill, like he just gets that Battle Fury, and I mean, can't stop him from farming. And they're just buying time for him by running a Drow and stopping the pushes. Like, I mean, Complexity's not even pushing. Like, DC's preemptively stopping their push. Like, all
Disruptor gonna run away with the smoke.
Oh, they really need this kill. Wee's just gonna pop out the Flame Guard. Chains come through, and no Static Storm, so yeah, no chance of a kill there. Not
Smart.
working out for Complexity.
Oh, no, are they gonna go for just the Bear Roshan? There's no way they do. Maybe tier 1 bottom. No, they're going for the Bear Roshan.
They do have an Alpha Wolf. Max Bar, it's still
I don't
super
know about
risky,
this.
and DC are a pain in it. No one coming to defend top. They're gonna find out real soon there's no push bottom. They're just gonna see Swindle balance
He
here.
likes
Here comes Weeha.
He has to TP in because he needs to infest and go in, but he is.
Black
not
Hole's
TPing.
even on cooldown for a minute. If DC come, this is really bad, but they're not coming, guys.
There's Lifestealer.
He does have a TP. He's just farming.
Way too late.
They sentry and Complexity pull out the pocket Roshan.
That was
They
way
needed
too
it.
late. He has to hide inside like Darkseer or Doom or.
I mean,
Ember.
really anyone
Yeah, really anyone, but
except Shaman.
without it was clear that they wanted to fight. You could see their position setting up around the pit. They had pre-ion shield, the Doom, and we saw multiple pings on the Roshan, but they were just not on the same page. Resolution opting to get perhaps one more item
Radiant's mid
before, but they gave up 2 towers and Roche because
Yeah,
he
that was a
wanted
lot.
to farm like I don't know 300 gold. I don't think that's worth it.
Dire's bottom tower
And
is
it
full.
seemed like a great time to fight too.
Radiant's
You've got
middle tower
no Black Hole to worry about, and everyone grouped up in the pit.
Well, I mean, DC, they definitely could have defended there. They knew it was happening. They just didn't
Well,
want to.
how
So
things
we'll
have
see what
changed.
All of a sudden, Complexity, where it looked like the Drow strat was not coming together, a Roche Towers!
Middle
But
tower
already a
is under
glyph getting forced out. They chip. They draw everyone back. Chessie will get caught there, just clipped by a sleight of fist chains, but he's allowed to walk
Radiant's
away.
middle tower is
Seems
under
complexity
attack.
now. They're going to be content with that. They're still 2 tier 2s, and they will back away.
It's like we just
Just
said,
gave
they,
them the
they were
push they
stopping
needed.
him from pushing, and now that they started pushing one time, they just like 2.5 towers.
Oh, now scouting out move mid with the glimpse back, catching out the Darkseer. And with the aid of a nice EMP blast by Chessie, they kill him off. And they just prompt a straight tier 2 push mid. It's just firing on all cylinders. DC, that poise and calm shot calling from the early game, suddenly absent as they just keep on getting picked off.
Yeah, that just goes to the Roshan. They literally just gave up a Roshan. They didn't have to. They just ran into the pit. That smoke not. Just did it kind of slow.
Dire's middle
And now they're
tower
going to start
has fallen.
banging on the front door in the mid lane here. Darkseer will respawn relatively soon. Complexity moving up. Chessie way out in front. Very confident position from him. The rest of the team a bit farther back. No chip. Tower, though, with no glyph, is going to take a lot of damage. Limp also laying into it. He's closing on a Manta now as well, which means the open wounds won't be a big issue. You can deal with the chains as well, and it gets a lot harder to kill now.
They definitely missed their window. They let the pressure up for 1 minute and everything goes south.
And they're going Crimson Guard next, it looks like here. Swindle's grabbing the Vanguard, so big 5-man items coming online for Complexity. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
I think DC just doesn't want to lose. As long as they don't lose a Rax here, they're fine with it. I mean, they lost a lot, but DC still has. I mean, they're still fine as long as they don't fight into the Aegis. But Lexi might take fight to them right now.
Well, they 5-man journey out of their base, heading straight for the bottom lane
Without a smoke.
without a smoke, past 2 Radiant Observer wards, and Lexi say, okay, we'll take the last tower for free.
Under attack.
That will be theirs. They're going to get a Manta style off of this for the Drow, and they have 2 minutes with this Aegis, guys. We're going to see a high ground push, I think, almost certainly. Can
Radiant's
DC
bottom
hold?
tower is under attack.
Yeah, their resolution's already running back to TP. Oh, or not.
All right. Actually, yeah, still hitting the tower. They are going to drop the wards here just to halt this push as much as possible. Complexity, letting the tornado go. Good catch there by Chessie onto 2. EMP connecting on both. They're out of mana. Saxa does have a few stick charges. He can't even cast the Doom right now with that stick. Complexity takes this opportunity to continue their siege. Lifestealer did get a tier 2 bottom, but it's tier 3 being rapidly chipped at with wards already committed. Complexity still have it's about a minute on the Aegis, a minute and 15. They just got like 5 objectives off of 1 slight decision, or it seemed slight at the time, not to contest the Roche. And they're going for more. Tier 3 top, keep on going. Complexity say, we want that game 5. This one ain't over yet. Biha, no battle here yet. He's ever so close too. Just needs a little bit longer. The fight will break out. Liv's able to sit back. He gets the Centaur stop. Alpha Misery, the Silence as well. Keeping that Shadow Shot. Now the fight, then the Black Hole with Swindles there, but he does end up dropping to the burn damage from the Darkseer and eventually will fall. So they commit a Doom buyback as well. The Phoenix Egg zoning them back. Man, really nice micro there by the Drow, but DC do hang on to the Rex.
Hanskin might be in trouble here. No.
Doom? Oh. Waving those arms around.
Yeah, that was Moo saved him that fight. That was a 3-man vacuum wall, and then the black hole happened, but he's taking so much damage from I think double.
Oh, they got
ion
the
shells.
silence off on Weeha. Weeha, this is not a kill they can ill afford to give up, and down he'll go. That's gonna delay the Battle Fury. He did mention by Arena of Health, but
Was he just farming bottom? I wasn't looking.
he
beat bottom to farm,
BOT'd into farm, and then Drow just hit him with a gust, and they auto attacked him.
That works.
Yeah,
Here we
he's
go.
quick.
Barreling down mid, no Aegis. They still have Doom. That was a really nice response. Doom tried to walk into Doom the Invoker, and Invoker just tornado EMP'd him into a static storm. So they have to be really careful about having Saxa die early on in the fights. I know he's been the sacrificial one, but now he doesn't have buyback, and they really need to get that Doom off on a key hero, especially with the Aegis on Complexity.
And Complexity ramping up the 5-man items. The full Crimson Guard complete. If your call here, guys, do you wait for the next Roshan, or do you try and just force something like ASAP?
They want to wait for Black Hole, they might as well wait for next Roche. So it's either wait for both of those, or just going right now.
They're looking for just one pickoff right now. If they get one pickoff, then they can just barrel down, but these...
Speaking of pickoffs, here they come. Great positioning though in the trees. They got him though. They had the ward on Z-Freak, and they should be able to find the kill. Yeah, they do. Tornado crashes through, but it's too late. So now it's all scatter. Head for the hills. Lifestealer on the chase. They are looking for the Drow Ranger. Has the Manta, gonna pop it right away. Misery though finds the real target. Chesty's got to bail him out. He's got an Aghanims now. He can do a lot of work in this, but Liv, he's being hit up by the Sunray. They've caged him with the ward. Misery gets the job done, and on the backside, Complexity desperately scrambling to try and save their Drow. Now find themselves running the other way with Moo chasing them down, running onto Handskin. The Crimson Guard got popped. Can they find more on the way out? They've isolated Z-Freak. He'll be next to fall again. That's going to be a dieback there on the Phoenix. Caw goes to the bird, but not the good kind of caw. DC, just one good rotation. That's a 2,400 gold swing. I think the Battle Fury on the Ember and a little more space for them guys.
That was a great jump. That Observer Ward winning them the fight.
He was in such a good position to break a smoke and then just dive away as well, but yeah, the Ward screwed him.
And now Darkseers as well, getting his items, so DC's, like we said, is better after the 30-minute mark, and they're almost there, and now they can contest next Roshan. By catching up and having a Battle Fury on your Ember, it's a lot harder to go. Oh, but Moo, back? Nope.
Quick blink out there, the Tornado. Nice dodge. DC able to hang on, and they are going back for an Infest Bomb.
They have to know that they had vision, because they just glimpsed them from the high ground.
Yeah.
So they dropped the Sentry Ward, but now they're not sure where
they dropped vision. Right, and now he pinged it out. They're like, oh, it's right there.
I don't know why he went infested there, because it's clear that they had vision with the glimpse on the Darkseer. Oh, here they go with the smoke. We see
this is the go for the jugular move.
Ooh, I like the scan. It doesn't actually see him though. Right off.
Critical moment.
Never mind. Shower thoughts.
What's on your mind, Grant?
I was just saying, Soxa plays always plays it in the 5 role. They always give Misery the farm.
That is pretty interesting. I think it's also partially Misery's just had such a good time and get some of these safe lanes that he ends up getting like 4 position level farm.
And they have ice armor up too, and that's actually really good.
Here comes the siege, though. They are waiting in reserve on the south side, ready to jump in at a moment's notice. Radiant Squad does scout this out with the Centaur on the high ground, which is in turn scouted by DC's own ward, so pretty much everyone knows what everyone's up to at this point. And, I mean, quickly checking for the Dire here. They're out of smokes, guys. None for 5 minutes, so they can't really go for an ambush play. They have to just jump in. Most likely with Complexity seeing it coming, they leave Limp in front. He does get off the gust there. Soxa is, I think, looking to go for the Doom, and Misery gets caught out with the vacuums there. Here comes the Sunray to save the day. Perhaps they can do it. They do lose their Enigma, though. Harley unable to save his brother. Now they're going to work on the egg, hacking away at it. 3 heroes together, but the Tornado allows the Kaboom to come out. Maybe enough to save it. Limp, Doom, but healed up by the Sunray. Z-Freak to the rescue. Can Resolution run in and finish him up? Well, actually, that was just too easy. 4 auto attacks, he's dead. Drow Ranger looking awful squishy now, my friends. And Chessie, well, he might be dead too. Even with the Aghanims not invoke anything, just trying to run. He tries to hide. He even pops the Earn Charge, drum available. Everything to get out. He's the lone survivor of this push, though. And Ember is hunting for him. Clips him with the chain. Finished off by the Zap. A full 5-man wipe. Could be the beginning of the end for Complexity's chances of pushing in DC.
Yeah,
I can understand Swindle's pickup with the Crimson Guard. I think he thinks that it's really good versus the Ember, but he needs a BKB. He is just getting caught by every single vacuum wall due to the good play of Move, but also due to not being big and yellow. And as long as he gets Doom with a black hole, he should be completely okay if he has a BKB. But if he doesn't, he just gets owned.
And they're losing. They're gonna lose this Roche. They're gonna take it before they're alive. And that's like Complexity depends on the Roche to push high ground. They just lost it.
Imagine if that egg didn't go off.
That would have been way more one-sided.
That was a sick play by Chesu. Like a perfect 3-man tornado.
Alright guys, it's not looking great for Complexity right now. They're kind of moving towards the Roshan pit with a black hole online. They may want to contest Swindle though. He's out quite far and they're going to catch him. Ion Shell onto Swindle. He's got the Mega Bell, but he cannot afford to die right now. He's out of mana though, so he can't even... Oh, he actually did cast the black hole, and yeah, well, he's done though, so... Backed out of the fight. DC gonna commit forward a bit more now. Soxa going to work. The Tornado does catch up quite a few. Maybe Chessie can turn this one around, trying to bring the Doom low. EMP's gonna pop him. Move will go down as well. And then Ember forced to retreat, so ends up working out surprisingly well. Not much of a hole, but follow-up was there.
Oh,
Catch the Ember too. Could be an even bigger grab as Weehaw goes right into a gut. Complexity showing that patented teamwork. They bring down 4. DC's turn to lob the ball back in Complexity's court. And maybe this is their road for the taking.
It is. That's what I was saying about Disruptor. They just won the fight 3-1. And with the Disruptor, I mean, you just push your advantage and they get the 4 Ember. That was insane. Crimson Guard looked pretty good there, Ben. It saved Swindle enough time.
He casted his hole and just canceled. They don't even need him for hole.
Yeah, he's pretty much just throwing down his E and then tanking. I think.
The tank Enigma. I like it. I mean, he's got a 4-step now. He says, forget about the BKB.
It's working out for him.
I just wants to kite and survive.
I'm really surprised DC did. I'm pretty sure they could have just taken Roche right there.
They wanted
they
to fight
could've
with
just
the Invoker up. Without the Invoker up. It was... You had like 4 seconds when they all blinked up the hill. They don't have enough armor on Dire. I still don't see that many honor items.
They have the ice armor tree.
I really would like the casual bill.
Casual Buckler of Lads would help.
Veil.
AC, Veil. Yeah. So like Blade Mail I think is pretty good. They don't have anything to really deal with it. It kind of owns Enigma. As well as Sunray. It's really good versus all those heroes.
Just a close game right now.
good.
I mean, both teams just keep trading team fights.
And tension's running high, undoubtedly. A loss here for Complexity. They're out, and DC have secured their berth, and I mean, staked their claim as maybe the best team in North America right now.
Oh, whoa, calm down, LD. But
I mean, did you see EG at the last event?
I mean, that was a test.
We'll see at Manila. That will be the real test. So new rosters, but here we go. Resolution moving on to Limp. Misery gonna get caught out, and there's the vacuum the wall and the Ember Spear combo, but that Crimson Guard negates all the damage. They're fine. They'll reset. The wall's now committed.
I think that's a fine commit. I think the wall is literally just their get out of jail free card. They used it there. Misery was in a lot of
Complexity
trouble.
just like go push mid now?
It kind of feels like that, yeah.
They have the
But
8.
Crimson Guard's down now.
They just still have a Doom on... If they get the Doom on Invoker, I think it can be a really good fight for them.
Gonna be a little bit tricky as the Lip just commits here. He doesn't actually have the mana to get out of open wound, so they're able to focus him down. Then they get the Hex off onto Swindle, preventing him from assisting. Black Hole's going down real soon though, and the Doom was onto Chessie. But Enigma trying his best to bodyguard him. His Moo is almost finished off here. Dropped very low. They're forcing back the rest of DC. Doxa barely surviving. One last auto tech from Limp will finish the job. Now the Doom's down. The hole's up. And Complexity are marching in. The Disruptor going to be rejoining the fight here momentarily. C-Ball back. CP straight on mid. They go into Resolution. He's tanky, but he ain't that tanky. The hole says no. They slam the door on him. He'll buy back now. Was that enough of a black hole with the buyback maybe to counterplay? The Static Storm dropped on Resolution. Could be a dieback for him. The vacuum though by Moo. Trying to hold the line. Resolution ever so low, but isn't finished off yet. Good Glimmer Cape by Misery to save the Tornado off the mark. And then we have Diving Deep. He really wants this Drow Ranger, but the Sunray just keeps on saving lives. The Resolution narrowly failing on, failing. They failed to get the dieback on him, but he does end up barely surviving, going back to the well. And they lose the Darkseer at the end there, too. They haven't cracked the Rex, though, guys. The wards get dropped defensively. They hang on to the base for now.
Well, they're just pushing right back, and that's the problem. Like, Complexity's biggest thing is Black Hole, but they don't need that to push. They can just keep Sunraying and sieging with Drow Ranger, while DC needs their cool.
Misery infested up, and I don't think they'll expect this one. Can they kill Enigma? Actually, they want to kill Limp.
Nobody expects the Shadow Shaman infest bomb. He jumps right on the Handskin Limp. Manta, run, head for the hills. The Tornado's already finished, or caught out to, rather. And they're going to turn back a Weehaw. Oh, and Morado gets the job done there. The Ember Spirit's now dead as well. Doesn't have the buyback gold. Complexity. They might just be able to do this. Deep Freak healing them all up again. It's a permanent fountain trip. Complexity just playing with a mobile one. And they will finally crack that melee Rex, turn onto the range, and move up to the top lane, which is exposed. And they look to go, but Limp being threatened by Resolution here. Also Limp, guys, he's got now a completed Butterfly, so evasion comes into play for him, as well as a lot of bonus damage for the team. And with Alacrity here, look at that Drow Ranger just laying into structures, leading up creeps. Swindle's at full HP, feeling confident. Complexity back in the saddle now, and on the verge of taking the second lane. That range Rex about to go down. It will drop, and now into the melee. Very low. They got to commit, but the Gust stops Resolution. He can't even get in range, and that's 2 lanes down now. Complexity They're very close. They are pulling this game back by their bootstraps, and it is looking like we might have a Game 5 on our hands.
No, this is just, I mean, they pretty much 2 Roshans win the wave complexity, and that's what their strategy needs, and it super pays off for them.
And the Sunray.
The Sunray, we won't talk, I don't think we need to talk about the Sunray,
It's
boy.
more so their decision in the draft to first pick the Doom as opposed to pick the
Sunray,
Phoenix.
yeah.
The Sunray has just been way too strong. It's given Drow like 3 lives.
And
Yeah.
not just her, like, there's 3,
whole
4
team.
heroes getting healed by that thing sometimes.
I think we
How
might
does
see the
Enigma
change.
have a Vlad and DC doesn't have a Vlad? Oh my.
Oh no!
At this
Come
point,
on,
Swindles
DC.
is just a walking. He's like the spirit. He's like the spirit bearer. You know? He's just a walking aura for the team.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what he
the
said.
bonus.
All he has to do is tank up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not
He
killing
listened to
him,
you.
huh?
DC didn't.
Yeah. Need armor, man.
I just don't know. I mean, DC needs to make a big play, and I just don't see how they do it now.
They can get Roche and the I don't know.
They,
They're too early to
we've
Rackdown,
seen
though.
them. They out at that second. But the
Or
problem
the
is
first
they
time.
got the
That-
Doom off on the invoke, and like you said, but they have no burst damage now. They
Well,
have,
they
like,
couldn't. The rest of the team couldn't really get to him. Like they did a
Yeah.
very good job at zoning the. It was either 2 or 3 heroes out of the fight, so they couldn't follow up.
It was a
and,
good egg. He
Yeah,
egged like right on top of the Doomed Invoker.
And then he sunrays and heals him back up to full, is healing the Drow later on in the fight, and well, I think it just goes to show how important dooming the Invoker is. Chesty says, "I'll just get a Lincoln Sphere."
Maybe he's just
Good luck
doing the
focusing me.
Phoenix. I don't know if he can though.
he doesn't have Blink or Shadow Blade. It's hard for him to do anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a 20-something minute Midas, wasn't it? It was very late.
Yeah, I still didn't like it this game. You get Midas when you're unsure about your late game, I think, or when you're so far ahead that it doesn't really matter. But I think in this sort of game, when you already have better late game because you're versus a Drow Ranger and
You know they're
they have
gonna
an
run at
offline
you.
Enigma, yeah, all you need to do is get items so you can run at them, but they can't run at them anymore.
It's funny how this game started out just DC throwing heroes at the Drow. Now it's just complexity can just 5-man with that Sunray and run at them.
And this Drow is still most farmed in the game. When you get dove on that much, not often you see Drow Ranger come back.
Oh, here they go
This
with
is
the smoke.
the rare Drow comeback.
Smoke near the Dire secret shop. Not scouted out by an observer ward. Misery is leading.
Feels like if this doesn't work, they may just GG out.
Chesty
likely.
in a good spot to
Doom in an awkward position. He gets the Doom off on Handskin. Not a terrible target, but not ideal either. But Misery, he blinks into the trees, drops the wards on top of the wall, and now has to walk all the way around before Lifesteal can pop out. They do manage to get onto the Drow, focusing her down, and they almost get the Drow kill with that evasion. Oh, almost enough, not quite. Now Enigma in trouble. Swindle's gonna get caught out as well. And Swindle, he turns, he drops the FU hull directly on top of Weehaw, kills him up too. They both die. Mutually sort of destruction here. And Freak now turned down to Resolution, but Lifestealer, he'll have none of that. He pops the raid. He starts smacking heroes. While Chesty, he deals with the backliners. 4 dead, about to be 5 unless Resolution can put on some sick jukes. He'll invest, he'll pop back out, but Invoker has the move speed to keep on chasing around the trees and to the ends of the earth, basically. There's a TP, Armlet toggle, go for it, and he barely gets out. Are you serious? Survive.
Yeah, armlet toggling during TPing. Love it.
Yep, seems balanced. But still losing 4 there.
And they lost a lot of their buildings in
I mean,
base.
considering how good the fight looked at first for DC, and yeah, buffer buildings just getting slaughtered right now.
Too many high priority targets to deal with.
Exactly, and they're all just so tanky now, because, I mean, we saw how long it took with 5 wall targets and 4 heroes hitting the Drow. They almost didn't even kill her.
If she just got a little bit luckier with the evasion, I think she lived
Yeah,
there.
it was like that last Drow wall hit killed.
Yeah, it was actually her own illusion too. It was
Oh.
a sad moment. Poetic, perhaps.
And now Complexity can do what DC did last game. Complexity can just farm as much as they want right now, maybe wait for that 3rd Roche, and then just push. They can just push their advantage.
Rapier Ember time, I hope.
He close? Oh,
No,
he
he's
just
not
has a
close.
Crystallis. Yeah, he's... I think if he gets a Rapier, Complexity's done something horribly wrong. They do scout out Misery here, gonna drop down an initial Thunderstrike. He immediately glimmers. The Meatball comes through, roasting him, but not quite enough to finish him off. Still, they're moving in. They don't have the Black Hole, but they don't care about it. It's just the Battle Tank Enigma marching down the bottom lane. And DC, they tuck their tail between their legs and they retreat.
He's playing it like a bristleback.
I actually am loving this Enigma play right now.
Bristle Enigma.
Just A-click the enemy face. Some death ball Dota here, and it's working out. Resolution with the infest. Not enough to get a kill, and Swindles just four-steps himself into the middle of four enemy heroes, begging them to catch the spell at him. There's the back, the wall is full, but the egg gets dropped over the top of it. Chessie on a monster kill. No one hitting that damn egg this entire time. It's going off. It connects on 3. And Complexity, they can smell it. They can taste it. They want that game 5. They want to try to have another crack at DC and take this series, and Resolution is going to really have to pull out all the stops to turn this one around, but Chessie's there again and again, dropping combos, forcing heroes back, killing off Noxa, the lowest farm hero in the game at 38 minutes. It's a 4K net worth. Doom has not had the impact they hoped for, and there's the GG call. This game, it really felt like it was DC's to take, taking the wheels off a Drought Strap, but then letting Complexity back in with 4 towers and a Roshan virtually uncontested. After a great early game, it's Complexity forcing this sighting, and I can only imagine epic game 5.
Oh, yeah, and now the pressure is built up. Like Complexity, they just showed they could deal with the pressure. They were on their, I mean, one loss, they were out. Now DC has to show they can deal with it.
I think a lot of it goes back to the Ember pick too. Like the Ember had to do too much, and it relied on every